You say that you support facts and not feelings, right? So I was wondering how you reconcile this with Trump's climate policy or environmental policy. Because this is a pretty significant threat, in my opinion, based on the evidence that I've seen and the research that I've seen.
Which threat exactly?
Yeah, what's
Climate
the threat?
change specifically, and I know that's a politicized term, but I'm just interested to know what you think.
They changed it from global warming to, this is another thing Democrats do, is they love linguistics. They changed it from global warming to climate change. Do you know why? Because when scientists started looking into global warming, right, there was actually no factual data to back up their argument. So they changed to climate change because the climate's always changing, right? This is literally why they changed it. They were telling us a lie, extracting our tax dollars for some Paris Agreement. They had no actionable plan, and America was losing. So you know what Trump did? He ripped it up, but we got out of there.
Paris Agreement.
I saw that happen, yeah. But those are distinct, like, scientific terms. Like climate change, global warming is happening. Like there are curves.
It's okay.
You can look at the studies yourself.
So,
there is a 99%.
Let's talk about this. There's rising global temperatures. So let me ask you three quick questions. Can you prove humans are contributing to it? Can you prove how long it's been happening and what the causation is? And can you prove that anything we can do can stop it? Can you answer those three questions?
I can. So the first
you can prove humans are contributing.
Well, I'm just a freshman at college, but
obviously, but the reason is no one can. The answer to those three questions are no one can.
It's kind of how science works. Yeah, you can't prove
You can prove humans are contributing using the scientific method.
Wait, could I just address? You can address me.
Well,
okay.
Well, hold on. We'll do this after. No, this is important. Go ahead.
We can talk after too. I mean,
no, but here's the question.
Yeah.
Here's the three main questions: is can you prove humans are contributing? Can you prove what we're going to do is actually going to affect global temperatures positively or negatively? And then at what cost? Are we going to completely restructure our carbon-based economy for something that is still having an immense amount of debate, dialogue, and discussion around it? Because I'll tell you right now, other countries such as India and China, they are trying to get their hands on as many fossil fuels as possible. Now, if the market wants to go towards a carbon-free economy, so be it. The government should not subsidize it, nor should we get in an international pact, as Candace mentioned, which will restrict our economic competitiveness while all of the countries that hate us are going to burn as much coal and as much natural gas as they can get their hands on.
That's exactly right. The Paris Agreement wasn't worth the piece of paper it was written on. There was nothing actionable in it. He was right to pull us out of it completely.
Okay. Well, for the first part of your question, people causing climate change, it's kind of a boring explanation. I can tell you're not into too many boring things. But for sure, definitely, there's a thing called the Seuss effect. You can look it up if you want.
I'm familiar with it.
Basically, yeah, there's certain isotopes of carbon that decay when they're taken in by plants and then turn into fossil fuels, so underground. So ultimately, those isotopes decay. When they're burned, they're released into the atmosphere. The fact that the concentrations of those isotopes are increasing shows that it's almost certainly linked.
Can you draw a direct correlation using the scientific method of the aggregation of those isotopes to rising global temperatures?
Well, yeah, of course, because
more so than sunspots or natural climate activity?
I'm just curious.
The reason I ask is real climatologists ask these questions and they're still debating them, the ones that are not government funded or highly politicized.
There is a 99% consensus on.
So what about the 1%? Science is not a democracy. We don't vote on gravity. We don't vote on Newton's second law.
No, we don't.
Prove it.
I mean, if you don't want to do the reading, you don't have to.
I have. I guarantee you I've read much more than you have. But answer the question. Is science a democracy? No, you said 99%. If it's 100%, then it's true. 99% is an opinion.
That's not I mean, I can debate with you about how science works.
No, prove me wrong. How is 99% prove anything?
You can't. 99% of the people in this room can believe one thing. That doesn't make it true.
No, they're scientists. These are scientists that have put their entire work and their entire life on the line. Yet it's 3%, and it's 97. The statistic I use is 97%, which is a totally flawed statistic. But let's pretend it's true for a second. That 3% that disagrees and defects, I want to know why they disagree and defect.
Absolutely.
But the reason there's not consensus. If we're able to prove it without a shadow of a doubt that there's a direct causation or correlation between fossil fuel activity and rising global temperatures, then it would be 100%. Those 3% that are defecting and disagreeing, that's what science is all about. That's why we have a scientific method. That's why they gather and they disagree and they discuss. But you came at it from, how could I disagree with facts? I'm giving you a fact that it hasn't been proven.